O
O
Z
Z
Y
Y
W
W
O
O
M
M
B
B
podcast.
podcast.
I'm Shan.
I'm Aria.
Say Ari.
Abby.
Welcome to Cozy Womb Podcast. Let's go. Hey, this is Shan, mom of the girls. Thank you for checking in. If this is your first time at Cozy Womb Podcast, welcome. It's a very random but frequently posted show. Enjoy what you can when you can. It's for new parents. Y'all are very welcome. It's for second, third, or more time around parents too. And I did not forget those of you who aren't quite there yet, haven't had your first kid, but you're thinking about it and you're just curious on what it takes to go ahead and survive the kids that you may make. Cool. Since we're all here, let's get into today's episode. Parenting is that, and parenting is with everything you think you know and a lot of what you don't. All the things you wanted in a parent as a kid, and the understanding of why your parents second guess having kids. That is what parenting is, in my opinion. It's a lot of acknowledging the fact that you don't know it all. It's a lot of acknowledging the fact that these humans that you help create have their own personalities, and what you thought they were going to be, they're not. They also come with positive, fun surprises. Randomly, they melt you on the inside out. Parenting is asking for favors from strangers, asking for favors from friends, asking for favors from family, asking for favors to your mother. It's a lot of loving, It's a lot of giving. I'm always giving. I'm always giving my time. I'm always giving affection when I'm not in the mood, but I feel like, dang, if I have to sit here and think about when was the last time I gave the girls a hug, let me go do it. It's a lot of forcing yourself to, initiate it. It's a lot of appreciation when it comes to kids understanding that you need a break. Kids understanding that you need help. Kids understanding that maybe they shouldn't turn on the TV right now because you have a headache. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of appreciation of your own parents, because one thing is, when you start doing your own parenting, you realize that, man, my mom did X, Y, and Z for so many days, or my dad did this and this and this, and I never remembered this not working, or us not having this. And you start to appreciate your parents more, or your grandparents, or your aunt, or your uncle, whoever raised you. Parenting is life-changing, and it's forever after. Because if you think about it, people live, and they get married, and they die, and when they die, they evolve into something else. They become a widow. You know what I'm saying? Or you just die off, and you used to be married, and your ex-wife or your ex-husband, they remarry, and that's it. When you're a parent forever. You're a parent when you die. You're a parent to your kids' kids at one time, and they're going to talk about you. You're always a parent. Parenting is balancing time over making a living. And when I say balancing time, I mean balancing time where you need a timeout, where you need to drop your kids off, even if you're off or you're calling out, and you need to take a break from work, and you need to sit home in dead silence, or you need to sit in your car in dead silence, or you need to go to the spa, go get a massage, just so you can reconnect with who you are. You know what I'm saying? It's also balancing time with your kids when it comes to your kids need you, and you need to be able to provide for your family also. But it's kind of like, is my kid going through a rough time, and should I put them to the side because I need to work and I need to pay bills? Or will they benefit from a day of us just hanging out and doing stuff together or talking? Sometimes, as a parent, you're going to get those days and you have to choose your kids. Like, everybody knows when it comes to me, I am a mom first. So if my kid is sick or my kid is having a hard time or they just can't be at school or at camp, I am not available for anybody else today but my kid. That's parenting. Parenting is completely being unselfish. It's completely embodying what that is. From start to finish. It's constant teaching and correcting. It's being available physically, emotionally, financially, mentally. Like, you have to be available. You can't do one and not the other when it comes to those 4 things. Like, your kids need you as a whole, not partially, not, hey, I throw you a few dollars, didn't I send you money last month, or didn't I send you money last Christmas? It's not that. Or didn't I call you on your birthday? It's being around when it's just a regular day. It's being available when I call. It's not forgetting to call me when you said you was going to call. Parenting is the understanding that you're going to need time away from your kids also. You know, like when you go away from people that you love before you have kids, and then you haven't seen them in a while, and then when y'all meet up, it's more love, it's more appreciation, it's more, like, it's so good to see you. Like, genuinely, parents need that too. I appreciate my kids more when I can take breaks from them for long periods of time. Like, don't get me wrong, I will check in when I'm away, but when I physically can be away from them for a good amount of time, just so I could get my mind together and I could relax, because parenting is very exhausting. All the normal places that you would go to when you didn't have kids become like your worst fear when you have kids. Like, when I go to the beach with my kids, unless I have a lot of family with me and I can see my kids, I'm paranoid the whole time. I'm worried about if they walk off on the beach and they're so little. I worry about if they go somewhere in the water and I can't find them, or they drown, or somebody picking them up. When I take them to the park and they go into a slide or behind like some monkey bars or something and I can't see them, I get paranoid. Like, where are they? Did somebody come pick them up? Did they walk away? Okay, I've been looking for a while. I don't see this green jacket. Or I've been looking for a while. I don't see these pink shoes. Like, oh my God. That's how I get. It's so, like, mind consuming to be a parent. Like, you have to be on all the time. Even when I'm at work and my kids are away at a sitter or at camp, I'm thinking about them still. There's no, like, turn off for that. You know, parenting is like planting a complicated bush. You're going to have to keep trimming it. You're going to have to keep checking the roots. Maybe it's going to get too thick and you have to replant it somewhere else. Maybe it's going to need this type of pruning. Maybe it's going to need this type of food to get rid of, anything that's trying to attack it. That's what it's like to parent. It's caring no matter what. It's caring when your child makes you so upset, when your child breaks something that you really can't buy back, when your child ruins photographs, ruins furniture, ruins your carpet, ruins your car, takes something without asking, or they damage a neighbor's stuff, or something at school, or something in somebody else's office, and now you have to come out of pocket for it when you wasn't planning on paying this extra money right now. That's parenting. Parenting is conditioning your child to become an independent adult. So you have to learn when to stop doing a lot for your kids at a certain time in order for them to step up and be in charge of things they want. You have to learn to step down from cooking all the time when they're at an appropriate age where they should be able to cook for themselves or clean for themselves or plan something for themselves. You have to learn to step back and hope that everything that you've been doing, that they've been seeing or hearing or, just interacting with you over the years, they took in. You have to be able to step back when you're parenting, because if you can't step back and you have to be in the forefront every time, they're always going to look for somebody to pick up where you left off. And that's when you have a lot of men out here looking for a mom and a woman that wants a husband and not a son. That's where you're going to have a lot of women out here looking for a dad and not a husband, not somebody that's her equal. Like, you have to have some type of balance. Parenting is putting wants to the side in order to make sure your child is not hungry, not cold, not dirty, not sad, not falling behind. Parenting is very frustrating. I get frustrated, and I try to not let my frustrations from things from the outside world interfere with my child. Like, I try to not yell or say anything on a level of, oh my God, like, Mom, why are you acting like that? When I'm really not so upset at what is being done right now. I'm just so fed up with the pressure of how today's been, that this on top of today, I can't handle. Parenting is spending hours in your driveway, in your car, crying. I've done it. I've done it at work. I've done it in my driveway. I've done it at traffic lights. I've cried my eyes out to the fact that they're puffy and I have to wait an extra 30 minutes before I walk into somewhere. I've cried in stores. I'm not ashamed. I am not ashamed, because this is just what this is. Like, you can't. People think that, I'm gonna prepare and I'm gonna be ready to be a parent. I'm gonna be so set. I'm gonna have this here and I'm gonna have that here. And when this goes wrong, I'm gonna have this in place and this is. You're never always going to be prepared when it comes to children. Parenting sometimes is not being prepared. Parenting sometimes is doing things, quote unquote, off the cuff, meaning you just got to think really quick. You got to think on your feet. You got to pop up with a solution right now. Sometimes that's parenting. Parenting can feel so unfair. But the thing is, you want to make sure you pour enough love into your kids. Make sure you consider their feelings. Make sure you take time to be open-minded and understanding of how they're adjusting in this life right now as a child at their age versus when you were their age. Things are completely different. So it takes another level of understanding in order to understand what it is to be a child in this day and time. It's a lot of pressure. And sometimes you feel like, you're working yourself to the bone. And I'm not talking about just going to a job. I'm talking about, I'm really trying to make sure that, my child is not a pushover. But I'm really trying to make sure my child is not a bully. And I'm really trying to make sure my child is very nice. And I'm really trying to make sure my child is not out here just being angry and taking out, their frustrations on other people. And I'm really trying to make sure my child is really good in math or really good in English or really good at this. And I want them to play a sport and I want them to play an instrument. You can have all the wants in the world for your child. But a part of parenting is allowing your child to find themselves and love them at the end of the day. Sometimes that is not going to include the things that you wanted, quote unquote, for them. Sometimes you have to be able to love your child in their own light. Parenting is using all of your PTO because one got pink eye and the other one's not sick. Then the other one gets better and the other one gets pink eye. Or the other one gets a cold. Or the other one gets a flu. Or the other one is having an allergic reaction. Or the other one just got bit in the face by another toddler at school. Or the other one has a doctor's appointment at the same doctor's office, but for some reason they are not allowed to see both of the kids that are different ages on the same day, so you have to come back again. Parenting is sometimes involving the other parent not equally pulling their weight as far as responsibilities, consideration, emotional, physical, mental, or financial. Sometimes that's parenting. Sometimes parenting is sucking it up and dealing. Sometimes parenting is calling your mom or calling your dad and begging them to come, watch the kids for a month for you. Or can you please take, Sally or Benjamin for like a week just so I can get some things together and not have to second guess, are they safe? Are they okay? That is parenting. Parenting is driving hours and hours and hours because your child just can't handle a situation and you just need to go get them out the blue. Parenting is being on call for all emergencies all the time. Parenting is not making excuses. Parenting is a lot. Parenting is rewarding. I think all parents hope that everything they pour into their kids grow up into good adults and reward them with achievements and reward them with happiness and reward them with appreciation and reward them with being the example of all the work, all the love, all the consideration, all the education that you work so hard to make sure that they had. That is parenting. Parenting is whatever you make it. So just do your best and understand that just because you don't know how doesn't mean you can't learn how. Parenting is blank. What is your parenting? My name is Shan. Toodles. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for still listening. Got any advice or just want to ask anything? You can reach me on IG at Cozy Womb Mama or at whoisshan.com, or you can email me at cozywombbmama@gmail.com. Thanks.